What is going on, guys? It is WrestleGamia here, back with some more wrestling gaming news and rumors. Join us now as we look at some of the biggest stories out there in the wrestling bubble of the gaming world, including a Reddit AMA from a 2K producer which gives us an idea on how 2K is going to win us back for WWE 2K22, an announcement from Retromania Wrestling, and more info on Virtual Basement's indie wrestling game. As always, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell for more wrestling gaming content. But let's hit the intro and get straight into it. Now, our first story looks at a recent Reddit AMA as Executive 2K producer Patrick Gilmore tells us more about the future of WWE 2K. He is the new executive producer of the WWE 2K franchise. Here are 10 things we learnt over the course of it. Number 1. Amongst the highlights was Gilmore talking about how top minds within the company were working on a way to bring back the much beloved general manager mode in a way that updates it appropriately from the last time we saw it in 2008. We can't tell you how excited we are about this, as it's been one of the things fans have repeatedly asked for years now. We've certainly discussed it enough on this channel. As well as this, there was a suggestion that monthly updates with new gimmicks, matches and wrestlers being included could be what 2K is moving towards in the future, though this is likely to take some time if it does come to fruition. This would be a true game changer if true, and really affects how the annual release model works in the future, and in our opinion it's for the better. Games need to suit that ever-changing world of wrestling, as one day a top wrestler could be heel and the next they're a babyface, and it's these small changes that will make a big impact to the game. We're not going to wait a whole year just for a haircut to change. Number 3. Gilmore also made it clear to mention that WWE 2K21 had not been formally cancelled so much as it was delayed, and it's being held over until the development team has had enough time to work on something that is worthy of the franchise. Interesting, as most of us had assumed otherwise. Number 4. On top of this, he also told us that it's unlikely there will be any further patches for WWE 2K20, as the team now wants to focus all their energy on the next game in the series. This makes sense in some respects, but it must be disappointing for the fans that already own 2K20 and were still hoping that it would be improved to a more acceptable level. Instead, it appears that 2K is trying to forget that this entry ever happened, and are no doubt hoping that we will forget it too by the time the next game is released. Number 5. The inability to customize wrestlers' hairstyles in previous games appears to mostly come down to licensing issues, the same issue as to what seems to be stopping Spotify integration. These are understandable and hard to blame the company, but we do hope they can work something out to allow this in the future. Number 6. 2K are also looking to reintegrating better modding support in future franchise entries, which will be music to our ears of fans who quickly realized that such things were next to impossible in 2K20 due to the chance in the way files were structured. Number 7. Creation Suite is going to be a continued focus in the next WWE 2K game, with Patrick Gilmore singling out Creator Story as one feature he would like to bring back in particular. This is great news, as this is one in particular that is sadly missed and could add a lot of replayability to the game. Number 8. It looks like 2K is finally trying to fix commentary. Gilmore acknowledged that it had been a reoccurring problem in the series, and that the team were hard at work to create more organic sounding reactions from the commentary team, while also trying to minimize repetition. Thank goodness they're finally doing this. If they can get it right, it would almost be enough to forgive them for all the past sins right there. Number 9. Development of the next game is going to focus on 6 core areas of focus. These will be core gameplay, emergence through leveraging physics, and more generic environmental systems to really draw gamers into the world, creating a complete feeling WWE experience, increasing focus on online mode and improving that more, making sure character models look and play great, and the aforementioned create modes. The team are looking at much loved previous entries like No Mercy or SmackDown Here Comes the Pain for inspiration, so we're really excited to see what this means. And number 10, Gilmore's personal vision for the 2K series puts a huge value on authenticity, namely making the stakes of a match feel real, visceral and impactful, this all coming from his own mouth, or rather his own keyboard. He would like to focus more on what it feels like to be a WWE wrestler and try and put you in the shoes of them while playing the game. It's big ambition, but it suggests that 2K are trying to do everything to pull back the fans in, many of the fans being lost from WWE 2K20. Patrick also summarized these into the 6 core areas of focus. Core gameplay, making the superstar versus superstar gameplay the best it's ever been. Emergence, leveraging physics and more generic object environment systems to enable spectacular gameplay that players feel in control of. WWE Experience, delivering an end-to-end true WWE experience in all aspects of the game, from UI and wrapper to superstars, match types and story modes. Online, improving all aspects of the online experience. Character, making the best looking superstars of all time. And create, upgrade the creation suite and make our community creation tools feel like magic to use. Gilmore mentioned that for my career, our conversations are leading us to more emphasis on player choice so that the story feels more like your own story rather than playing through a preset experience. Gilmore also commented on the 2K19 servers and how long they'll be up for. He mentioned on Reddit, "We've kept the 2K19 servers up far past their normal sunset date. In a normal year, servers from a previous game would come down in March so that they can be used in testing the next installment. That's why some people saw an automated message related to 2019 over the past few weeks. We're planning to keep the servers up for as long as we possibly can, but they will have to come down at some point so we can get ready for the next game." Some of his final comments included, "Our focus is 100% on wrestling. The great thing about wrestling is it's a total melting pot that encompasses so many different aspects from different genres, sports, drama, even science fiction. Wrestling is multifaceted. That said, we are focusing 100% on making the best wrestling game we can." Again, it sounds promising, and of course there was other information that you'll be able to find over on the Reddit thread, but this represents some of the biggest news to come from the AMA. Overall, it's great to see that 2K are taking so much more effort to listen to the fan community. We hope it continues and they follow through with a lot of these when the game is eventually released. Next up, Retrosoft is offering free DLC for Retromania Wrestling. Yeah, last night's Retromania official Twitter page sent out a message saying that they were going to have a special announcement in the morning. However, it looks like they got bored of keeping us all in the dark, because just a few hours later, they decided, sod it, let's just drop the reveal right now. This ended up being an announcement that the first DLC wrestler who will be available for the game once it's released is going to be free of charge, and that it will be none other than Impact's own Chris Bay. Considering the relatively small size of the project, this is an awesome gift from the development team. It's a welcome change of pace from the way companies usually handle DLC, forcing us to pay way more than we should for things that often deserve to be part of the base game anyway. Retromania's Twitter page even posted a short video of Bay himself making the announcement and a subsequent tweet confirming that he'd be available for download shortly after the game launches. Fans' response seemed to be pretty good, and now we're excited to see what other DLC characters the team unleashes in the next coming months. And finally, new details on Virtual Basement's indie wrestling game. In case you weren't excited about this one enough already, a new article has just been published over on Fightful.com, giving us more detail about what we can expect from Virtual Basement's upcoming indie wrestling game. When asked about a release date, a spokesperson for the company had this to say: "We don't have a set target release date in mind yet, as this is a passion project and we don't want to rush anything, which is one of the main reasons why we're doing our best to self-fund the project and avoid publishers/investors. We plan on building the game in steps/pieces and potentially launching over time early access." So while this is a little disappointing that we still don't have a release date announcement, it's nice to know that they're not rushing production and their end game is to make a quality product. The same spokesperson then talked about the challenges in building up their roster. "We have not spoken or worked with any of the promotions directly. We're working with independent talent from all walks of life directly. This means past, present and future professional wrestlers. We have a fantastic roster thus far that we're proud of and a lot of new surprises coming. There is a strong possibility down the line to include add-on content with various promotions, but as of right now we're focusing on creating our own fictional brand to work within the game while having options to select various independent promotions and arenas. As for the roster, we have handpicked everyone thus far, and it has been a group effort of everyone involved reaching out to their contacts and friends." Somewhat surprisingly, it looks as though WWE pariah Enzo Amore has had a large hand in helping out Virtual Basements with contacting a lot of these wrestlers and building a subsequent working relationship with them. While he's not an official consultant on the game, he has gone on record by saying that he helped to recruit various wrestlers for the title while working with Qatar Pro Wrestling, and is even pushing to get Vince Russo involved. Ooh, is that a good idea? Do they know how to model forklifts? We also got a little bit more info about how the company has been building the in-game character models, with them essentially creating everything from scratch without the luxury of 3D scan technology. Because of this, each character is taking somewhere between 2 and 4 weeks to build depending on the level of complexity involved. When it comes to gameplay, they have been taking careful notes on what has worked and what has not worked in other wrestling titles as of late. They mentioned, for example, we plan on focusing polishing movement system first, as it should be fun as possible just running around and interacting, and then we will build striking, reversing, grappling systems step by step on top of that core. If we had to give examples of the style of gameplay based on other games, I would have to say it's a mix of No Mercy, Here Comes the Pain, Day of Reckoning 2, and SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. We hope this all turns out to be true, because if it does, it could be something really special. But there you have it guys, the latest wrestling gaming news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling video game content.